Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Technical Forum of Hydrogen and Fuel Cells Europe. And also welcome dear online visitors. I'm Bernard Jekel, I'm the moderator today here, and we like to present you the newest technology. And before lunch break, I hope some people stay here. We have the head of hydrogen business development here, and he will talk about green hydrogen in Portugal. So he's live from Portugal, enabling a competitive zero-carbon European industry. He is the head of hydrogen business development of Galp. I'd like to introduce and invite to the stage with a great applause, Diogo Almeida.
Good morning, everyone. So what I will try to explain you here is a little bit how we believe that bringing projects, industrial projects into Portugal will have a major role in helping decarbonize heavy industries in Europe. Just a quick presentation on Galp. We're an integrated energy company headquartered in Lisbon, but with activity in 3 different continents. So we have our legacy businesses, we have upstream activities, we have a large refinery in southern Portugal, trading activity. We also have 1,200 stations in retail stations in Portugal and Spain, and a large B2B and B2C portfolio. And additionally, from, I'd say, 5 years onwards, we've been developing renewables renewables business, and 2 different value chains. A battery value chain, we will be refining lithium in Portugal, and also a hydrogen value chain. And it's a little bit about the hydrogen value chain and what we expect to do in the coming years that I will tell you about. So, geographically, just for your mention, this is where we're working and developing our activities. A lot of business in Brazil also, but with a big focus in Portugal and Spain. Well, we know that we have a huge challenge ahead of us to decarbonize the energy sector in Europe. All the outlooks point to a exponential growth in the demand for hydrogen. And we know that Europe has been putting forward regulation to promote the use of hydrogen in the different energy segments in Europe. Until now, and well, the numbers are from end of 21, so most likely they are already overpassed. We've seen more than 200 large projects announced in Europe for green hydrogen, over 150 gigawatts of capacity. But we also know that the renewed targets through REPowerEU point to the need for around 200 gigawatts of electrolysis capacity in Europe by 2030, which is a huge challenge for the whole value chain. And specifically for the industrial sector, we believe that we'll see a change of paradigm in the coming years, from cheap natural gas that we doubt that we'll be able to have in the coming decades, to as cheap as possible green hydrogen. And that's also where Southern Europe kicks in. In Southern Europe, and namely in Iberia, we have the lowest, or some of the lowest, LCOEs in Europe, both for solar and for onshore wind. And from the developments that we've been doing in our own hydrogen projects, we know that hybridizing wind and solar is the best way to use the full capacity, or the best capacity on our electrolyzers. So it's pretty important to have this match between wind and solar. And because of this, and all the projects that are being announced for solar and wind in Iberia, We also know from the present baseload forward curves that the market expects to have a clear discount on the price of energy in Portugal versus, for instance, the price in Germany. And in an industry that will be focused on using green hydrogen coming from green electricity, this will allow for significant savings. We have a large refinery in southern Portugal near Sines. Sines is a fishing village, very quiet, with surfing schools and amazing beaches, but on top of that, also a large refinery, petrochemical plants, a natural gas, an LNG plant also, and a deep sea port with very good conditions for developing projects. So we've started our green hydrogen strategy in our refinery. We are the largest consumer and producer of hydrogen in Portugal. We produce 60,000 tons per year of grey hydrogen presently, and we want to fully decarbonize that by 2026, 2027, which means that we will build at least 600 megawatts of electrolysis by then. We have a pilot started production next year, 2 megawatts, 100 megawatt, which will go into FID this year, and we'll start production in 2025, and then all this ramp up to fully replace our hydrogen requirements, our hydrogen needs at the refinery. On top of that, we will also start other projects on synthetic fuels. We want to produce ammonia. We want to produce green methanol and green aviation fuels, synthetic aviation fuels. This can be here or in other locations that we find suitable. But we also want more than that. We want to attract large, heavy industries to Portugal and Spain and develop their projects, either new projects on top of capacity they have, or eventually relocating from places like Southeast Asia and coming back to Europe, where they will be able to produce green products at a very competitive price with European regulation. So this is one of the main aims regarding industry that we have. We've seen announcements of industrial projects moving to Iberia, and we are looking also for potential partners on these value chains, either steel, cement, pulp, many industries that tile, glass, so many industries that will require green hydrogen for their processes. We have the knowledge. We are used to work with hazardous molecules. So for a company like Galp, that is not a main issue. We have so many experts, and we also have some of the best assets, an integrated energy business that is able to optimize these processes, namely green hydrogen production. So this is what I had to show you, and how we believe that we can help with our strategy decarbonizing European industry. And I'm open for any questions that you may have.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Diogo, Almeida. Any questions from the audience? Maybe any clues and tips about Portugal? Good working conditions? There's one.
Yes, hello. My name is Antonio. I work for a tech company. So one question is, you mentioned that you were aiming at attracting, let's say, companies, manufacturers, process industry. Do you have a particular industry in mind which would be especially suitable?
Thank you for your question. We see that especially steel mills, steel production, and cement are two industries that will require green hydrogen to replace their present raw materials and the energy that they use. But we know of many other industries that will not be able to fully electrify their processes. And because we have this large portfolio, and although I'm defending green hydrogen internally, I always tell our clients, if you can do it with electricity directly, please, that's the best option, okay? The cheapest, and so even in terms of a life cycle analysis, probably the best one. But many of them cannot do it, and those are the processes that we are looking at to help our clients.
One more question. We have got 2 minutes, 3 minutes, if you like.
You were referring the question on the quality of human resources, the cost of living.
For example, yeah.
Yeah, well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
We have very good engineers in Portugal, and that's also why we have many companies, digital services, software, moving there. But we also have very good chemical, mechanical, electrotechnical engineers. And usually, unfortunately, they've emigrated to Europe, to the US, looking for opportunities. And I really think that this time we'll be able to keep them and to develop good projects in Portugal. Not only a great place to go and visit, but also a great place for living.
Good to learn this from you. Portugal, the partner city of this exposition, and free Galaos, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks
everyone.
a lot, Diogo Almeida.
Thank you.